Unknown energy signature, sir. It's massive. Bigger than anything in our database. Before Quran could respond, space itself seemed to ripple around the human destroyer Defiant. The vessel, no larger than an Imperial frigate, suddenly blazed with energy patterns that hurt to look at directly. What in the void? Quran began. The Defiant fired. It wasn't a weapon in any conventional sense. Reality twisted, and 3 Imperial dreadnoughts simply ceased to exist. No explosion, no debris. They were there one moment and gone the next, as if they had never been built. Impossible, Quran whispered. The human fleet opened fire as one. Energy beams unlike anything in Imperial records tore through the formation. Ships that had conquered star systems were reduced to expanding clouds of superheated gas. The Empire's most advanced shields might as well have been tissue paper. Full retreat, Quran screamed. All ships, emergency jump, but the humans weren't finished. The Defiant fired again, and this time the beam caught Quran's flagship. He felt the deck plates vibrate as unknown forces tore through the hull. Emergency klaxons wailed as atmosphere vented into space. Captain Kane's face reappeared on the flickering viewscreen. Admiral, I believe you misunderstood something about Earth. We're not a backwater world that stumbled into space travel. We're the species that figured out how to harness quantum vacuum energy while your empire was still using plasma cannons. Quran staggered as another section of his ship was deleted from existence. But the intelligence reports were exactly what we wanted you to see, Kane replied calmly. We've been watching your empire for decades, waiting for you to make a mistake. Thanks for bringing your fleet within range. The last thing Admiral Quran saw was the brilliant flash as quantum fire consumed his flagship. Of the 300 vessels that had approached Earth with such confidence, fewer than a dozen escaped to carry word back to the Empire. On Earth, Captain Kane allowed himself a small smile. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology. It was their patience. The moon wasn't just awakening. It was a catalyst, unlocking dormant pathways in human consciousness that had been sealed away millennia ago. Elena realized with crystalline clarity that humanity's ancestors had possessed these abilities once before. They had reached for the stars, built impossible structures, and communed with the cosmos itself. But something had happened, a great forgetting, a deliberate suppression of these gifts. Commander Walsh's voice broke through Elena's revelation. Rodriguez, we need you back up here immediately. Every major government on Earth is mobilizing. They're calling it the Awakening event. As Elena prepared for extraction, she noticed her hands glowing with the same blue energy that now covered the moon's surface. She could feel the thoughts of her crewmates, sense the emotions of people on Earth millions of miles away, and perceive the hidden patterns that connected all living things across the universe. The moon had been humanity's guardian, preserving their true heritage until the species was ready to reclaim it. The tremors, the circuits, the awakening, it was all a test and humanity had passed. Dr. Marcus Thompson stared at the data streaming across his monitors, knowing that everything would change now. The barriers between minds were dissolving, revealing that consciousness itself was humanity's greatest technology. They weren't just awakening psychic abilities. They were remembering what it truly meant to be human. The moon's gentle glow painted Earth in new light, and for the first time in millennia, humanity began to remember who they really were.